Hello, and welcome back to the Empowered Aging Podcast. In today's episode, I'm chatting with Danny Burns about his journey with Parkinson's and his very recent decision to undergo deep brain stimulation surgery and his hopes for the future. So, today he'll talk about what led him to this decision and the results of the recent surgery. And on a later podcast, we'll check in with him and see how it's all going. So let's get into it. So, welcome to the podcast. I have Danny today with us to share his story about DBS and how he's gotten to this point and his whole thing. So, Danny, I'd like you just to start off and kind of tell us a little bit about you, maybe when you were diagnosed, kind of what's been going on.
Okay. Well, I was diagnosed back in 2020. So it's been 4 years. And I've slowly but surely gotten worse with my freezing of gait. And now I have got to the point where I've had to quit playing pickleball, and I've even quit playing golf, which I tremendously miss. But I have plans to try to get back on the golf course in the near future, and I'm hopeful that there's no doubt in my mind that with they say that deep brain stimulation surgery will not help my freezing of gait, but I'm hopeful that that way I look at it is I had a decrease in dopamine that has caused me to have this freezing of gait issue, and but I'm hopeful that if deep brain stimulation surgery DBS will increase my dopamine production, that I can maybe get back on the pickleball court too. So we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. Time will tell.
Yeah.
So 4 years ago, what were your first symptoms?
The first symptoms were just a tremor in my cheek, and my son, who's a nurse, he's an RN works at Wake Forest Baptist. He's the one who noticed it first time and says, "Do you have Parkinson's?" And I said, "I don't know." So yeah, and then shortly after I got had that issue and got diagnosed, eventually I fell at my grandson's basketball game. I was watching the game and just kind of in between retreating and getting off the bleachers, and I just fell straight down in the bleachers. So which was kind of a strange thing. And one of the ladies there at the game helped me up. So yeah.
And that was before you were diagnosed?
That was before I was diagnosed. Yeah.
Is that kind of what led you to think maybe I need to go get checked out?
Well, no, my son set all that in motion when he noticed my cheek tremoring, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then did you see a regular neurologist first, or did you go straight to a movement disorder specialist?
No, I saw my family doctor, and they set me up with Greensboro. No, is it Guilford and Associates, or I can't remember.
Yeah, Guilford Neurology.
Guilford Neurology.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how did they diagnose you? Just from your symptoms, or did they do one like a skin test, or what did they do?
They did a test. They had me do gosh, what do you call it? Gosh, I can't think of it all of a sudden. But they had me do a test, and it came out positive for Parkinson's. But she kind of kept saying I had characteristics of Parkinsonism, but she would never say I had Parkinson's. So we weren't really that impressed with who we saw initially over there. So then we found heard about Rebecca Tat, so we went to Rebecca Tat.
Okay. And she confirmed Parkinson's.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So what have you been thinking about DBS for a long time, or did you just decide you wake up, no, I'm going to do it? What led you to this?
Well, Dr. Rebecca Tat, she had some, I guess we just reached a point where she wanted a second opinion, and I kind of wanted it too. She recommended I go see Dr. Siddiqui over at Wake Forest Baptist, and that's what led me eventually to get checked out by him, and he's the one that first recommended the DBS.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so when did you start seeing him?
In March of last year.
Okay. All
Uh-huh.
right. So you've been with him about a year and a half. And
No,
or
about just a little over 6, 7 months.
oh, okay. So this of
Yeah.
2024. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. And did you have to think about it very much? Like what went through your mind when he suggested that?
Well, my family has been very involved in this process, and all my 3 children and my son who's a nurse, and as well as my wife, and um they all were involved in decision making. And after we got all the initial information and all this, we then all wanted to go back and have a second meeting with the doctors. And so we went back to see Dr. Laxon, who's the surgeon in this case, and his PA, and they really kind of told us that some things that we felt like would be very, very beneficial to have this surgery.
Mm-hmm.
They said that it would help with my stiffness and my restless leg, and also that in general that it would in general kind of halt the progression of Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm.
So those 3 things, and plus it helped me with my medication and reduce it and streamline it and all that. So after hearing all those, and I've struggled with restless legs since I've had Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm.
To a point where, I mean, it just drives me crazy. So after hearing that, we decided to proceed with it, and I didn't find out that much detail about the procedure itself. It's just I was going to do it because it was important for me to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody on in your family was on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I hear about some people who just, no way, Jose, you're not going into my brain.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you didn't really think like that.
No,
You recommended it. It can help me. I'm doing it.
that's right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So not a whole lot of turmoil in your brain about thinking, should I or shouldn't I? You were on
No,
board.
I was on board. Yeah.
Okay. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So,
Plus I knew Kenny.
yes, right. Knowing
Yeah,
people who've been through it.
yeah, he's been through it, and he's been very uh, pro having the surgery and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
and he's been a big help since I've had my surgery too.
Yeah.
Big advocate. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It helps to have someone who's been through it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say he's the poster child for DBS. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's
Yeah.
pushing.
Literally. He's in
Yeah,
the poster.
he's young, dude.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, leading up to the surgery, was there anything special you had to do? Did you have to come off of your medicines at all before
No,
surgery?
Mhm.
No.
You
Okay.
stay on your medicines and you go right into the surgery. Um, and
You're awake, right? The
you're
whole time.
awake. Yeah. Dr. Sticky was there, and I had to give him several inputs into how things were going.
Hmm.
As they put the first lead in, and then as they drilled and did put the second lead in, I had to
So
give
you had
feedback
both sides done same time.
same time. That's correct.
Okay. Because I've
Hmm.
heard sometimes they'll do one and then you go back for the second, but
No, they did both at the same time.
same time. How
Hmm.
long were you in there?
About 4.5 hours.
Wow.
Hmm. Long
Wow.
time.
Yeah. And they have your head immobilized, right?
Oh yeah, you're in a vice
Yeah.
kind of apparatus, which hurt. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's got to pinch against your size of your head in
Uh-huh.
order to hold on. So
Yeah.
uh, it wasn't very comfortable, and it hurt. When I got out of it, it hurt, still hurt a little bit. So yeah.
Did they give you any type of medications to help you just stay calm? I'm thinking restless legs could kick in at any time, and then you're like laying there with ants in your pants. Um,
Hmm.
did did you have issues with feeling restless and not being able to be still?
No,
No? Okay.
no. I guess I was numbed enough that was not an issue.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. And then what was post-op like? Did you stay in the hospital overnight?
Yes,
Okay.
I stayed overnight, and then and that was what was crazy because I went to recovery and I had to go to the bathroom, and I walked to the restroom twice.
Wow.
Went to the restroom, and then when we got to the room, I went to the restroom several times, no issues. But then later, I had some issues.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I just had trouble holding my bladder.
uh-huh.
Hmm.
Interesting that you were good and then not good.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Okay. Huh. So you just stayed one night and then went home?
Yeah, and then everybody, because I was having issues, they wanted me to stay, and I
Okay.
wanted to go home. So,
Yeah.
so the doctor said, "Well, I think you'll be better off at home anyway." So he let me go home,
Okay.
and then when I got home, I still had some trouble with my bladder, and
Mm-hmm.
my family was like, "God, why'd you come home?" So, in fact, we were thinking we were going to take me back to the emergency room or someplace else to get uh, entered or um, get in the so I could go under care again
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully be okay. But um, yeah, it turns out there were a couple other little issues too. We detected some blood in my urine, and so that maybe made it kind of complicated. But then I found out that I'd cut myself kinda. Um, in the process of trying to go to the bathroom and all this other thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah,
So now those issues are resolved.
yeah. One thing that really helped me resolve and get on with getting everything squared away was having um, what do you call it? Uh, the plastic bottle or urine.
The urinal or a catheter?
Yeah, they had a urinal. Yeah,
Yeah.
my family had a urinal, and so
Mm-hmm.
that helped me finally get squared away, so I didn't have to rush.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to be running to the bathroom.
Okay, no bark. So, sorry, my dog's barking.
Okay. So when was your surgery? What, 2 weeks ago? Three?
22nd for the first one, and September 12th for the second one.
Okay, so and so what what was the second surgery?
Second surgery was when they go in and put the leads down the side. This is this incision right here.
Mm-hmm.
They make this incision and put the two leads down the side of your head, and into your tie into the generator.
So the first surgery is where they locate where to put things.
No,
The
the
actual.
first surgery they actually put the leads in your brain, but then the second one they go in and tie and run it down the side of your head
Uh-huh.
on the left side or right side, and then into the generator.
And that generator is what, somewhere in your chest?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Right there.
Can you, oh yeah, can you feel it under your skin like a pacemaker?
Yeah, I can feel it, but not running right now.
Yeah, no, but you could
Yeah.
feel the device is what I'm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going back tomorrow, you
That's
said, right?
correct.
To start the process of turning it on
That's correct.
and getting calibrated in
Mm-hmm.
essence. So, as you were telling me earlier, it's a process, right? You have to go back a few times maybe to get things adjusted just right.
Yeah, Kenny's telling me it's very important that you take good notes on how you progress after they turn it on, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll turn it on and not get it up to full volume and all this and everything until maybe the second or third time. So
So they probably start low
yeah,
and crank it up
yeah,
slowly.
that's
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah.
And
I
then the
read somewhere that they're working on creating a device that will auto regulate depending on what your needs are.
I read that too.
Yeah.
I saw an article on that, and I said, "Well, will I be able to do this with my surgery?" And they said no. I said, "Well, maybe in take two." So
So it would require a whole different surgery to switch to this other newer.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Uh,
I'll find out more about that tomorrow when I go in and talk about how they're going to program me and all that. So
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I'd be curious to know if
yeah,
that's something you can just advance to, or is it a whole new thing?
yeah,
Yeah, because that sounds really exciting.
yeah. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. So are you nervous about tomorrow? Are you excited? Like what?
I'm very excited about getting started.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying you're excited. You're not nervous at all, just
No,
excited. No.
oh man, interested in knowing how it's going to affect my brain a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Won't be able to sleep and stuff like that. And so
Yeah.
but I think I'm positive. I'm excited about it though. Yeah, I'm just looking
Uh-huh.
forward to getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see how you move and such with
yeah,
this.
yeah. Because I'm still feeling. I think I'm still feeling the effects of the surgery a little bit. I'm
In what
still
way?
well. I'm still a little stiff, and I can feel it up in my head. I can move about like I did before.
Hmm.
In terms of my movement. I mean, I feel like I'm ready to go back in Tai Chi and pick up where I left off.
Go.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So, yeah.
So the pressure, the feeling you have in your head, is it from the vice that you were in or from the surgery itself? What are you feeling?
I don't know. It's just a general, it's
Like an ache, kind of?
not an ache. No, it's not an ache. It's I just feel the sensation of the staples
Uh-huh.
in general, maybe a little bit of an ache, but it's really not aching that much. But just a general feeling of I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
But it's
It sounds like some kind of surgical type sensation
Yeah.
that should
Mhm.
just go away. I mean, you had
With
brain
time.
surgery,
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
has to heal, definitely.
Yeah.
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 Did they put you on any kind of pain medication or?
No, they said I could take Tylenol and I've been taking Tylenol and it hurts a little bit to sleep at night. If I sleep on the side where they tomahawk me.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Just the
Uh,
pressure of, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
but but it's not a lot of pain.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the other things that helped maybe decide what to do, whether to do this surgery or not, was that 96% of the people that have taken it, have had it, would do it again. So
That's a big
that's
statistic.
a big
Yeah.
statistic. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, every now and then I'll hear a story that this is why I won't do it, but
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
it's a rare bird that, yeah.
I can see why.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think about there's a lot of women in our classes and stuff, and I can't imagine many women wanting to have this done. So yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, I think I've only known one, and she was an older woman, and yeah, she didn't care. But
hmm
I wonder what the statistics are, actually,
Yeah.
men versus women.
Yeah. I'd say it's mostly men.
But look, you wear a
Yeah.
scarf or a hat for a while, big deal.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
helps with your movement, like you're saying. That's
Yeah.
sounds like it would be worth it.
Or if it doesn't help me with my movement, but it helps with my stiffness and my restless leg, boy, I'll still be happy. Yeah.
Yeah,
hmm Yeah,
yeah.
and my feeling was that as far as getting back on the golf course and stuff, they said, well, you're gonna have to rely on your physical therapy for that. And I
Hmm.
said, well, okay, I've been taking all this physical therapy from Amy and Tai Chi from you, and all this stuff's gonna hopefully add up to where I can do that a little bit better and to keep from falling and hopefully get back and playing golf.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And therapy that maybe is a little more focused on
Yes.
the things you need to do, like actually going out on the grass with a club and practicing the swing, doing
Yeah.
walking and such over uneven ground. I remember you've talked before about sometimes there's those backward steps, just when you had to step back to
Yeah.
assess a situation, you would lose your balance. So it's not
hmm
always right, it's not about the
Yeah.
swing all the
That's
time.
right. Exactly.
Yeah, so really focusing your therapy on the specific tasks and movements that you need to do to get back to golf.
hmm
Because
Yeah.
look, doing something in the gym to prepare for golf, you can only go so far.
Right.
You need to get out there and actually,
hmm
yeah,
Yeah.
golf range, you could, start there.
Yeah. That's where I'll start.
Yeah. The new golf place that opens, maybe go there.
Yeah.
Top golf.
Yeah. Top Gun, I have to go out there and do try that out. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
hmm Yeah. So my grandson is taking up the game and he's gotten where he's gotten pretty good too. I'm helping him, giving him a set of my old set of golf clubs and been helping him learn. It,
Uh-huh.
I kind of had to quit playing myself, so yeah, so that's been fun and worked out really well.
Yeah, at least you're able to do that in the interim,
Yeah,
and fingers crossed, you
hmm
can get back out there.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'll do everything I can to help you, Danny.
Okay, cool.
Happy to help.
Yeah, good.
Oh,
Hey,
well, thank you so much for doing this with me,
uh-huh.
and we'll check back with you, I don't know, in a month or so. We'll kind of keep tabs and see what things are like once you get connected.
Okay, sounds good.